Hello and welcome to another tournament episode. Today I'll be playing with Vigilantes teens against Penguins Lion King, seed 8 against seed 9, and the bases are Boogie Wonderland and Back Alley and Sultan's Palace. We'll start playing with Penguins Lion King. And of course, our goal for now is to find Mufasa and get him in the discard pile. So to speed up this process, we'll play a minion on Sultan's Palace to draw a card. I'm not going to use the talent from the Disguise Penguin yet. We can do that on our next turn to draw another card. And we'll play Hyenas then on Boogie Wonderland, which is the base we actually want to score. Then we draw 2 and we'll go to Vigilantes teens. Okay, so we start with Stonefort in hand, which is really nice. We can search for any action. And Vigilantes got lots of very, very strong actions. One I really like is Street Justice. If you know me, you know that I love movement. And this action can just stay in play while moving minions all around. So for now we can just draw a card with the base and move our minions to another base we want to score. So this creates kind of a draw engine and helps us avoid power creep. Penguins have quite a similar game plan. They will use Ice Slide. Then they activate Disguise Penguin. They reveal a Wish for Wings at work, which means we can play this for free. And then the minion we play is Surfing Penguin. Kind of a waste, because I really like that ability, but we cannot use it right now. Yeah, so we will move the minion to Boogie Wonderland. And we can just draw a card. And every turn we can just play a minion on Sultan's Palace, draw a card, and move it to another base. With a regular minion play, we'll play a Lion Cup and then draw 2 cards. So Vigilantes teens just drew another very strong action. First we'll play Prep on Sultan's Palace so that we can draw a card. And then we'll play Let's Finish This on Boogie Wonderland. Just to prepare for our next turn. We'll also activate Street Justice for 2 power on Prep during our opponent's turn to protect her against Hyenas. So it's very unlikely that we will be able to put enough power to prevent Vigilantes teens from stealing Boogie Wonderland. And we can also not score it this turn, so I decided to just play a minion on Sultan's Palace to draw a card. And then we also play Circle of Life on Lion Cup, so if we lose Boogie Wonderland, we'll at least activate Lion Cup and Circle of Life. We'll draw 2 and pass turn. So the breakpoint of Boogie Wonderland drops to 0. And then we can actually do some very cool stuff here. Let's start with Scared Straight. We can move one of the minions of the base. So we'll move Surfing Penguin back to Sultan's Palace. And then, as our extra action play, New Kid. Of course, Prep doesn't have the +2 power from Street Justice now. And I'm going to search just for any power 3 minion. I picked Slacker, because I don't care about the ability, just that it is a power 3 minion, and I'm okay with wasting a Slacker just for the power. This draws us a card with the base, and then with our regular minion play, we'll play Dusty Henry to shuffle back in the Lion Cup, which means both the Lion Cup and Circle of Life do not trigger. And we can solo score Boogie Wonderland. And we can still use the talents from Street Justice to move Dusty Henry over, so we can actually score both bases, starting with Boogie Wonderland. So that's 4 victory points, with just Stonefort there. And this was mostly possible because of those very strong Vigilantes actions. Also, Hyenas then is discarded as Mufasa is not in the discard pile yet. Okay, so we got Forbidden City, and Penguins have their special, but an extra action play from Forbidden City into Hyenas doesn't really change anything on Sultan's Palace. So they will play on the next base instead, because that's probably a better base. So we score Sultan's Palace. Score is now 7 against 2. Lion King Penguins have a very rough start. It's very hard to start their game if they cannot find Mufasa or Wildebeest Stampede. So new base is Spiral Hill. We'll play Leaping Aboard with the Penguin Lion King to play a minion off the top of our deck. Regurgitating Penguin. He will reveal 3 more cards, and we can play 1 action of them. First of all, we can play a Wish for Wings that work for free. I think it works like that. And then also play Pebble Gift as our action from Regurgitating Penguin. And then this will be placed back on top, but then shuffled back in when we shuffle the other cards. Alright, so then we end the Vigilantes team's turn. And we start with Lion King Penguins, who are really falling behind right now, but they can now play their Titan, as they have 3 cards on the base. And they will just try play a minion off the top of their deck and hope they could find Mufasa soon. But unfortunately, it's just a baby penguin. That does mean we can play an extra minion, so we'll play a Lion Cup. And this will all draw us extra cards when the base scores with Pebble Gift. Alright, there's no action we want to play, so we just draw 2. Okay. Let's start with Foxy Green on Forbidden City. That's not a very desirable VP spread on that base, so she will probably draw us a lot of cards. Then as our first action, Strange Science. Play Prep from our discard pile on Spiral Hill. Just a setup to put pressure on the base. We don't really care if we don't win the base, but we don't want to take too long, because the longer we wait, the more minions Penguin Lion King will play there, which means they will draw more cards. So yeah, we use the Titan to play a minion off the top of our deck. Still no Mufasa, but once again a baby penguin, which we will follow up with a Lion Cup. And now we actually can spend our action play on Hyenas to destroy the prep. Then we draw 2. Okay, so we draw a card with Foxy Green. After that, it seems very unlikely that we are winning Spiral Hill, so I'd like to just get a very cheap second place with a Rebel with Tough It Out, so it will add 0 power, but still a lot of pressure on the base. And we have, oh, we don't have the Revenge in hand. I thought we already had. If we draw into the Revenge, it will be even better. Alright, let's use the Titan to shuffle back Surfing Penguin. We also get a power counter for that. And then we'll once again play a minion off the top of our deck, and this time we finally found Mufasa. But we still cannot score the base, that's the problem. So Mufasa does get 1 power from a wish for wings to work. So I decided, since we cannot score the base, to play Scar to draw a total of 7 cards by destroying Mufasa. But we can place 4 power counters, so we are essentially only losing 2 power for 7 cards. We can place those 4 power counters on several minions. And then when we pass turn, we just have 2 power less because we destroyed Mufasa. Then we draw 2, and I'm gonna cut this and discard a bunch, and this is what was left over. We finally got some nice actions we could play in phase 2, so that's good. Alright, so Foxy Green triggers and we draw the Revenge. We will use Tough It Out for 3 power on Rebel. And we can actually score this base and steal the first place. So it's gonna be even harder for Penguin's Lion King. We have a 6 power Rebel, and then we can just simply score the base by playing New Kid for a prep, followed up by a Jock for 10 more power. So I think Lion King Penguins cannot do that much if they just draw Lion Cubs and Baby Penguins. They need Mufasa and the discard pile, they need their strong actions, they need Sazu in play, and they need Simba and Nala, and replay those 2 minions over and over again. And I think while Vigilantes teams are almost done with their game, Penguins Lion King are just about to begin, since Mufasa is now in the discard pile. To make things worse, Tough It Out can be recurred by the base, while Lion King Penguins can only recur Circle of Life, which is definitely not as strong. And there is a whole new problem. We finally solved the Mufasa issue, but now we also draw 5 cards with Pebble Gift, which means we only have 3 cards left in our deck. So Mufasa might actually be reshuffled back into our deck if we are not careful. But we do now have pretty much all the cards we need, but we have to be extremely careful. Not to mention, of course, that the score is 4 against 11. And the new base is monstrous high, a base that can score very quickly. So, yeah, but there are several ways to prevent or discard pile from being reshuffled. With that, we end the Vigilantes team's turn, and we start with Penguin's Lion King again. We'll play Under the Ice, very important card now. And then Command Penguin into a baby penguin. We know that it will be a baby penguin, it's the only minion left in our deck. We can play an extra minion, Timon and Pumbaa, and after that we get some power counters from the base. And then, of course, what this was all about. Under the Ice is going to place 3 minions at the bottom of our deck. I'll just stack my deck up with baby penguins. They have to be power 4 or less. We don't have any power 4s. I don't really like Rafiki, so that leaves us with baby penguins. So that's 3 more cards added to our deck. After that we'll use Timon and Pumbaa for 1 more card. Doesn't have to be a minion, so since we are with 4 against 11 VP, we need to slow down our opponent dramatically, so Scar and Hyenas are very welcome now. We'll draw 2 and discard a bunch. Okay, Foxy Green triggers once again. And we'll play Jackie Bill on 1 Tritch High with Tough It Out again. So we are only adding 1 power. Then we draw 2, discard a whole lot meaner, because we will probably get it back soon. Alright, so we can play our Titan. We can use it to, together with Timon and Pumbaa. So first Timon and Pumbaa are going to place Hyenas at the bottom. And then, as there are no baby penguins left, we'll also reshuffle Rafiki in. Then our Titan gets a power counter. And then we'll play Surfing Penguin to move away Jackie Bill. He might be safe from destruction, but not from movement. And after that, we get some power counters, or just 1 power counter from the base. And we can use our Under the Ice for an extra minion into our deck. The Regurgitating Penguin is still there. And then with our action play, just can't wait to be king. We don't have to waste He Lives in You yet. This is already enough to score the base. And then at least we can solo score this base. But it might not be enough. Jackie Bill gets a power counter. He triggered when we played an action. And the score is now 8 against 11. But scoring this was of course a double-edged sword, because we now no longer have ways to restock our deck. The new base is Aquababazar, we draw 2 and we have just 5 cards left in our deck. Okay, so once again, Foxy Green. We get a whole lot meaner back in hand. And then scoring back LA or Forbidden City is certainly possible, but it doesn't win us the game. So instead I am trying to gather all minions on Agrababazar. So we destroy Tough It Out. Jackie Bill gets 3 more power. And as you might have noticed, we suddenly played Ape Froman on Foxy Green. This was not recorded somehow. And then this is followed up with Rebel and Slacker for an extra action play. We'll use Slacker and Rebel to move Foxy Green and Rebel and Jackie Bill to Agrababazar, and then we have our last action left, Who Loves Your Baby, to play a power 4 from our deck. Shift. He's going to put Dusty Henry and Prep on top, but they will get shuffled in. So yeah, we can use the base for 2 power counters if we discard an action. And then we only need 1 more power to actually score this base. Even if we had drawn and played another power 4 minion, we would have still needed 1 more power, but I just thought this was a better option than scoring either Back Alley or Forbidden City. So the only disadvantage here is that we lose the 3 power on Jackie Bill, but we can easily get 4 more power on Agrababazar. And Lion King Penguins can certainly not steal it. The only way to prevent this is maybe slow them down, so we draw a card with Zazu. But unfortunately, it's no Hyenas or Scar. So there's nothing left we can do. We'll just play the Hatching. But we know that Regurgitating Penguin is at the bottom of our deck. So we'll play Rafiki. It feels really weird that we didn't even play Simba or Nala this game. We drew Nala early, but we didn't have a Lion Cup in the discard pile for a long time. We drew Simba very late. There was never a right opportunity, I think. So Foxy Green triggers one more time, and we can just use Jackie Bill's ability to reduce the breakpoint by 3, and then the base itself for 2 power counters by discarding an action. So we still have our regular plays left, but I didn't see a way for us to score another base. I just played a Death Wisher, and a whole lot meaner for 3 power counters. Might not be the most powerful move, but I thought there wasn't a way to score another base, so we'll just score Agrababazar, gain 4 victory points, and end the game with 15 against 8. You might have heard me say in the last episode, I think the matches are gonna be a lot closer now since we are moving on in this tournament, but this was not a close game. Vigilantes teams will go to round 3 and will play against Killer Plant Coast in that round. The next episode will be World Champ Cowboys against Tornadoes Time Travelers. This was not what I expected for this game, but I hope you still enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.